course, we're live, so we are live. I did say I wasn't going to put you through me copying and pasting is melee onto every melee weapon, but I didn't have any. I literally just got back from picking up my son and having lunch. So we are going to do this very fun task of going through all of the melee weapons. And, we'll do collapsing instead of some mad scrolling, and telling them that they are melee weapons. Is this the most efficient way to do it? I don't know. Is a throwing dagger a melee weapon? I think it would be quite fun if it was, but I don't know where to tell people that. It could be like a fun hidden thing. I'm going to put it in and say, yeah, it's a melee weapon. It's a projectile melee weapon somehow. Okay, great sword, yeah. Wait. I would love to have... Usually I would have a podcast on in the background for this kind of thing. Listening to fun stuff, interrogations, things like that. I think this counts as a melee weapon. But now I am the podcast. Okay, let's go ahead and do the orc weapons as well, the green bean weapons, because it will come up eventually. So would we say, if something is a melee weapon, would we give it like a, would we say so in the encyclopedia? If upgrade weapon is melee, text. Like that. Is melee. Yep. And before I forget, while it's fresh in my head, copy weapon. Okay. Oh, did I scroll down a bunch? Let's return here. That little yellow line is. Let me double check. Yeah, everything is fine. Tomahawk? No, tomahawk's not a melee weapon. It's a ranged weapon. I mean, it could be thought of as a melee weapon, but it's not in this case. Whirlwind blade, yep. Scimitar, of course. Is it scimitar or scimitar? Bow, definitely not. Plank is a shield. Machete. 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 Oh, okay, yeah, and just again, before I forget, Where did I put big melee? If the shooter is on the player's team, because we wouldn't want this to affect enemy weapons too, because that wouldn't be much fun. And I would think the same goes for, yeah. So this would only happen if shooter, is it shooter? Character dot is on player team. And we only need to check this once for both artifacts. Yeah, we do only want to check this once if possible. So if we just put these together at the end. Okay. And then let's double check that I've done that for, yeah, so if artifact and if it's got frost, but that's only if is on player team. If it's not on the player team, would it react to an artifact? God, I wonder if one day I'm gonna want to make it so that artifacts can be on enemy teams. But then it would be like, instead of gm.artifacts, it would be like we'd have a team and that team would have a list of artifacts, and then I would just change the reference there. Like, so instead of asking and then getting rid of the is on player team thing. So yeah, it shouldn't be too difficult. All right, back to where we were here. Yes, a club is a melee weapon. Glaive is a melee weapon. Chain lightning is not a melee weapon. Guitar, I don't think, is a melee weapon. Let me think about that. Grenade, nope. Shrapnel axes, nope. Throwing whirlwinds. Let's say no for now. Lightning blade, yeah. I need to completely change this weapon. Goblin launcher, no. Spike shield, no. Lifesteal machete, yes. So yeah, we actually already have all of these green bean weapons set up. It's just so when we do go to make the green bean faction playable, actually the bigger challenge is going to be making it so that the bigger challenge is going to be making it so that enemy faction that we can make humans into an enemy faction. Okay, that's that. And then we have... Okay. Fire spread, yeah, so, yeah, okay. And so I guess the next thing I want to do is these like damage type artifacts. So I'm going to... I've got my big file with the artifacts, and I just need to figure out how exactly... Is it here? Artifacts. So we have this sort of background star. Oh, hello. Is this in all of them? It is. Let's fix that. My goodness me. What a horrible bug. Okay. So the background, so the blue one there means ultimate. The chicken means chicken. The red one there means, I think it's on... I can't remember which the red one is. I think it was on damage. On kill? Oh yeah, on red one is on kill. Black one is on death. Yellow one is on crit. And this one is sort of it, and the halo is on heal. So we need another one basically, which is telling us that like melee is good, fire is good, ice is good. So we could just go with like a different color here. So yeah, let's do. So yeah, let's just copy that, and let's get a nice like purpley color. And do we have like a symbol for melee? Not really. This is attack speed. So we could do something. We could have something like a sword. What would be a universal symbol for melee? Like a sword. I can't just use the in-game sword because I think they're considerably bigger than these. Yeah. So we have sword, bow, and one would be piercing. Okay, well, yeah, so I could probably go ahead and use this for melee. I think that's fine. And then we do actually have our talents for piercing. So we go and take our piercing talent and pop that in here. Yeah, that's going to work. And of course on layer 1 we need to take this. Why do that? Piskel is a bit weird sometimes. Okay, so let's take this. And we're going to need 2 more of them. Then layer 2 will be this. That works. Then we also have chain somewhere in there. There it is. Yeah. And then the last one was, let's make melee the last one. And oh, it's actually 5, not 4. Okay. So let's make another one, and I think we have let's just import our sprites, particle effects. Oh dear. I think I might have lost my one for fire. Okay, and then the other one for frost, which we don't actually have an image for, but let's see. Particle effects. Did I actually draw this? No, I don't think I did. So how do I denote ice? Let's go. Let's get our projectiles. Magic effects, is that in there? And we're looking for our icicle. Okay, let's find it this way. I did do a little bit of editing here. Let's see how it looks on the water. Once it finishes compiling. Yeah, don't know if that's an improvement, but it's fine. Okay, so we want to find our projectiles, because I know how to find the prefab. Projectiles. Ice effect. And then we've got our thing there, and that links to... So it is in the root folder of sprites called projectiles. Okay. And I think I can rotate it. And I think this one would also look nicer than the flame here. Okay. So we have our new artifacts. Let's export this. And yeah, I mean, it's going to ruin everything. Let's see. Oh God, I really hate this. Like, can't it just... Could it not just, like, add it in a way that is reasonable and makes sense? Never mind. I call this pacing. It's like in a game where you want to just do the action, but you get all these little mini games which are complete wastes of time, but they just kind of give your brain a bit of a break. And hopefully these will all still match up. I'm pretty sure they will. There you go. Yeah, I wish there was a better way to kind of dynamically populate these. Because it's like every time I add a new row, it's like they all have to go up a bit, and I don't understand why it would add it to the top, right? Because like if I add a new row to the bottom, it actually just makes it larger on the top, which means that I have to move all of these up a bit, and that's just really annoying. I guess there's probably some way to do that, but it's not clear. And if I make a file bigger, you just add it to the bottom. I mean, I guess the habit I could start doing is whenever I make new sprites on Piskel is just add them to the top instead of the bottom, because that's where they're going to end up. But that only is going to work when a full new row is added. It's just odd. I don't get it. I don't like it. Okay. It gives my brain a bit of a break. Okay, nice. And then we go to artifacts, which I believe is on GM. And we have them here. Flaming Death. Big Pierce. Big Chain. Frostbite. Wait a sec. There we go. And Big Melee. Obviously the names aren't great, but they'll do, and that should just work out of the box. There is a chance that I will have to reset the save in order for that to work, but I'm not against doing that anyway. Yeah, so where do we set up artifacts? Artifacts. So yeah, we say artifact list.clear. Okay, no, it shouldn't be affected by saving. What's saved is which is whether we've unlocked them or not. So that's good. Okay, so we have made these new sprites. So yeah, added new artifacts. Okay. Right. So with those artifacts added, and with my cheat to make them, I'll put in a note to translate those when appropriate. Okay, so I'm going to do a playthrough like this, and if everything works, then the next thing to do would be to make the Orc faction, the Green Beans faction, which is really exciting because that's a new faction that adds a lot to the game. It will be really difficult to balance because we need to make it not much easier or harder than playing as the humans. We'll have to make humans appear as enemies, which is more interface and stuff like that. So that's going to be a lot of work. And the other thing I need to do is sort of post this up on YouTube. So make a couple YouTube shorts and do marketing, which I wish I could just spend all my time developing the game, but hey, there's no point developing the game if no one's going to play it. So we're going to do the bridge on hard difficulty. We're going to see how the performance goes. And when we get... Hold on, did I... One thing I need to check. Ah, yeah, problem. Right, no, I have done this wrong. So I wanted to do my cheat for artifacts. Okay. There we go, artifact UI, rerolls. So if we reroll, and so I just want to put in do. In fact, we don't need to, yeah, we'll just generate options again. That'll do. Okay, this time for real. I will be right back in 5 minutes. Hold on a second. Actually, you know what? Yeah, got it. Yeah, no, I'll stay here for the moment. Okay, let's do this. See how the performance goes. Hopefully it's a bit better than it was before. See how these new artifacts go. See how the bridge goes. Lovely playthrough. That's taking a while longer than usual. I don't know what more we could do to sell the bridge without making it too noisy. Like, yeah, I guess we could put, like, banister thingies. But actually, I think this is fine. Okay. Yeah, let's do priest. I don't think I need any, like, healing synergy things. You could do, like, a shield one, but that really would be OP. No, I think the little artifacts I've done are fine. There's just more sort of broadly usable options. Crit is always good. But are we going to pick the fire one? Let's pick the fire one. I'm pretty damn confident it's going to work. But yeah, let's... So how do we go full fire? We pick fire mage, we just pick anything fire related. We also pick witch, because witch can evolve into fire witch. And yeah, this is great. I do feel like having the army move in a single direction is helpful. I would like to try this thing of like having towers and things like that, but we'll see. Lovely. I've got the native pierce and chain, which is really powerful. I don't know if melee should sort of come up, but melee is actually really good in this game. Melee attacks. Here we go. Yeah, it's really nice having them come from one side. It kind of almost gives a bit of a vibe of like a Streets of Rage type thing. Which actually just gave me an idea. Hold on, I've got to write that down. So I'm thinking like, I think this exists and I want to try it. Like Streets of Rage roguelite. I think that does exist. I think that does exist and I want to try it. Yeah, let's just go with... Oh, let's get damage. Fireball. Let's have a thought as well. Like, what if we had priest and heal? Would it be fun to combine those into something? I would have to give up another one of the combos. But yeah, anything that has fire on it, anything that upgrades with fire, we'll pick those. We'll go full fire build. I guess AoE is also good. But yeah, no, I really like the momentum of just moving in one direction. I mean, Ramparts is fun too, having the enemies kind of appearing up the ladders, just for the theme of it is really fun, I think. I mean, Plains is the most boring one. Hold on a sec. Okay, yeah, he is attacking, he's just very slow. And yeah, I find that like different levels, the shapes of them, the different methods of spawning enemies in, it does make a difference. It does make a big difference in these games. I think maybe I was born to be a streamer because I can talk for England. People have always told me that. They said I could talk for England. And yeah, it's true. If I need to say something, I will find something to say and I'll say it. I also do like being silent occasionally, especially when I'm having to think. But right now, and this is my new podcast. So I used to listen to podcasts and watch YouTube videos and stuff like that while playing games or developing them. And now I am the podcast. Upgrade armor just because it's an upgrade. So yeah, I'm entertaining myself by speaking rather than listening, which is probably not healthy. It is good to listen. We have two ears and one mouth. I'm just going to close the door because I think there's some noise going on outside. But this is the kind of game I can do that without having to pause. Otherwise you can still hear me even if I haven't got my headphones on. Yeah, I do like that. I don't know if I could go and make a cup of tea. I'd probably level up before then, but you can get looters and lords. You can get characters which will pick up items for you, which is fun. Okay, so we want to reroll big chain. Okay, so they are added. All allied projectiles gain 1 chain. Okay, let's just get that and test it. It's very powerful, that. It's very powerful. In fact, maybe it's too powerful. I don't know why it took so long to load just there. I think it's just a matter of computer doings. Okay, what are all these numbers? Available slots. Okay, yeah, so this is me. Current enemies, available slots. Okay, I'm going to keep this here. So what this is there was an error before where towards the end there's like enemies weren't really spawning properly, like right near the end, and I wasn't sure why that was. Okay, we had fireball. So are enemy projectiles chaining? It looks like they are. Our allied projectiles chaining. I mean, I have no reason to think they wouldn't be. Lovely chest. We're going to get loads of stuff now. Crit rate. Yep. Nope. That's not good. I need to examine this. So we have one called chain. And I'll show you. Hold on, let me just load it up. My lovely Miro board, which has all my combinations. It's just easier to see. Because chain, you can get chain by combining range and AoE. Yeah, range and AoE makes chain, which on its own, which you can level up a few times, making it quite big. However, I think just because there's other sources of chain, that's not great. Dear. Okay, let's do this. Yeah, because there's other sources of chain, it's kind of like not that great anymore, and you're kind of giving up 2 upgrades to get one that isn't great. Obviously, if you upgrade it like to max, you've got 4 chains, which means every single one of your projectiles, especially if you've got like a big fireball or a explosive arrow or something like that, is just going to ricochet through the enemy army and mess them up big time. So it can be really powerful. It's just I don't know if it's powerful enough to justify compared to some of the other upgrades, basically. Okay. Need to be careful now. Lovely. That's so much fun to watch. try and get that chest. Yeah. Oh, that's not right. That should have paused. I don't know what slowed everything down so much. And I don't know why it didn't pause for that. But I guess I need to put more catches in to... So... Chest. Make sure... Always pause when chest is open. I mean, I think I already have that on. It's like if it's on the animation of being open or opening, then pause it, and it does that every frame because I want it to be sure, but I guess it's not working. Okay, I don't know what's causing these frame drops. I think it might be partly due to just a mixture of like you know, doing the live stream and okay, so that is scripts. Okay, I'm just going to put this over. I'll put it over here so you can still see it. Still see a chunk of it. So that is animation. That's kind of spiking things up there. Script seems a bit heavier now. Okay, what was that? That was garbage collector. Bit of animation. And the wolf armor. And yeah, the profiler itself, of course, messes with performance quite a bit. What was that? I think that is just playing in Unity. That is really messing with the frame rate. No, I mean, we've got a bit of everything kind of spikes up. So I think that is like when the packs of enemies are spawning, it freaks out a little bit. So I wonder if what I could do is do like a staggered spawn, like use a coroutine so that they don't all spawn at once. So yeah, make it so that packs don't all spawn at once. Use coroutine. And let's get crit rate. That was garbage collector. That's another thing that's fairly advanced, is to look at the garbage collector and tell it to tell the garbage collector to like do it at appropriate times. So what we could do is say, yeah, can we do that? So like if we said clear garbage collector on level up, and also I need to make less garbage, which I think is basically going through and caching things. So instead of saying here's a new vector 3 or here's a new float or a new string or something, is to instead have one laid somewhere that we can reuse, basically, which just adds a little tiny bit more at the start. But it means, so the garbage is anytime you delete something or anytime you make something that you don't keep using. Okay, this is good. Let's see meters. I also want to see like how good is this. Where are my meters? I'm not sure it's even working. Okay, so I need to test and fix meteors. I mean, I got it working I've seen it work plenty of times, but probably something I've changed has stopped it from working. Oh, there it is. There it is. It's working. It's just... It's a bit subtle, isn't it? And let me see... make rain... Ha, okay, yeah, so still though, it just does seem very subtle, doesn't it? And it seems like it's not even always there. So yeah, I'll need to investigate that. It's actually not a terrible idea to just leave the mana on the floor. It's tempting to go back and get it, but at the same time, if I do start failing, I'll have mana to pick up on my way back. So I'll have like, it's kind of like going backwards and collecting more units. Okay. Lovely. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm having fun. I enjoy this game. I don't know why more people aren't wishlisting it. It's very sort of silly, fun, chaotic game where you collect a lot of gems and watch the numbers go up and watch your army fight a big horde of orcs. Obviously, it's a bit rough around the edges in a lot of ways, but yeah, there's our meteors. So it is working. I don't know if I'm just not looking at it properly. Okay, let's do... There it is. That's the exact one I wanted. It's a 20% chance for an enemy to explode. Wait, when burning... That's not correct. The fact that this is taking a while tells me that there's like my computer's just sort of not really handling, because I've got the stream up on YouTube and I've got OBS running as well. So I think it's just struggling a bit. I'm going to minimize OBS and I'm going to minimize YouTube Studio, and hopefully that makes things run better. I'll pop it up again to check the chat later, just while I'm running. What did I just say? Test and fix meteors. Never mind. Oh yeah, so the text for meteors, so artifacts, burning. Really? What did I call it? Flaming death, not burning death. 20% chance for enemies to explode on death when burning. Yep, I see some explosions. There's nothing else that could be causing those explosions. It seems like it's happening like every time. Let me double check I've coded that properly. Flaming death. If the dice is less than 2. So yeah, that's only going to be happening when 20% of the time. Okay. AoE seems good. Yeah, so the garbage check collector, I just need to make sure I'm never deleting things. Oh, what's going on here? Ah, I know what's happening. Okay, that's fine. I can actually fix this at runtime, but move walls. I know what's happening here. That is the edge of the level. That's where it was before. So we take our stage, take our bridge, and we take our handily named cubes. Is it this one? Oh, why can't I select it? And we move this. Oh wait, that's the ramparts. We're on the bridge. Take our handily named cubes. That one. And we move this all the way over here. At 219.220. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Flaming Death seems pretty good. Okay, yeah, we do want to do this knockback thing, because I think that is... But it's good that they can... Oh, okay, the other thing I need to do while I'm here is because these walls are now not long enough. So that one's fine where it is. That one's fine where it is. These two need to be bigger, need to be more centered, and they need to be bigger. Don't need to get the numbers right just now because I'm just doing it for runtime, but yeah, I guess something around there like that will do. And maybe instead of, well, it doesn't matter, but I was just thinking instead of, so we'll keep this at 1 and we'll use this to scale it up. That way we can be quite precise with the numbers. So it's going to be something like 800 and 280. And we just need to make sure to do that. Is it just me, or are they... It feels like they're exploding like every time. I don't think they are though. But it does feel quite common. Okay, he just got knocked out beyond the outside of the map. So yeah, it's going to be a bit annoying until this run's finished. But you know, that's fine. Performance isn't too bad. So not too bad. But yeah, since enemies are like pretty much always on fire, that's just sort of a native like extra... Oh shit, I need to watch out my health. That just ends up being a kind of 20% explosion chance, which is kind of what you'd expect. But obviously that's not going to happen if nothing's on fire. Kill with that one. Yeah, and this is one of those games where an enemy can be frozen and on fire at the same time. Frozen, frosted. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Yeah, we'll get there with the performance. It's just needed to get it working first. And certainly if there are some like... See, this is why that Pirate Software guy really annoys me. Because I would love to just take his place before he like fell off and crashed out. I would love to do that because he had a guy. He literally Coding Jesus. I don't know who that is, but his name's Coding Jesus. Came in and said, "I will help you fix your code." I please, if anyone knows that guy, if anyone knows any like coding Samaritans, Jesuses, wizards, whatever, prophets and wizards of coding, please send them my way. Because I would absolutely love to have someone just kind of come and roast my code and tell me what a bad programmer I am. And I'll be like, lovely, yeah, I'm a terrible programmer. What do I need to do? Because that is a privilege. Okay, yeah, the enemies aren't exploding every time, but it is quite often. I mean, 20% is quite high. Maybe that's too high. I just feel like it should be higher than the base one, than Killer Explosion, right? Although Killer Explosion only applies... Okay, you know what? I think it can be 10%. Because Killer Explosion only applies when the player kills an enemy. Whereas Flaming Death is actually more common because you're more likely to be able to have... you're more likely to be able to have... Like, to kill something when it's on fire than you are to kill something yourself. If that makes sense. These guys are pretty dangerous. Okay, yeah, we got AoE and the big fire sword, so we are cleaving through big packs of enemies. Oh dear. Okay, what should we go for? We've got our both wizard types. We have the spears. I mean, so if in doubt, pick something that combines with something that you have. Okay, we have killed nearly 5,000. This is fun. I hope everyone is enjoying this as much as I am. Yeah, I think 20% is too high for Flaming Death. Going to have another minimize this again and have another look at the profiler just to get a clear idea of what is causing all these slowdowns. I think it is indeed whenever we're spawning an enemy pack. I think that's what's doing it. Yeah. So if I could make it so that, yeah, so when we're not spawning an enemy pack and then when they spawn in, it causes a good deal of frustration. Okay, so we've got 2 of our new ones. Vengeful Mana is just the best. I don't know what else would I want. Big Pierce. Just to see if the game like bugs out. Like if it just gets confused. Like, what do you mean Big Pierce? Wait, animation? Why is this? I expect things to tank at this point because it's a loading screen, but why is that one going so big? See there, the blue is script. Yeah, so basically, so I think I've got it running pretty smooth now, except that when we spawn a pack of orcs, it freaks out. So the next thing for me would be to make it so that they don't all spawn at once. And also that they don't all spawn on the same spot. So Yeah, don't all spawn at once and not in the same. I don't think they are spawning in this. No, they're not spawning in the same spot. I just want to make it so I'll use a coroutine to make them spawn in nice and slow. Now even just rendering is taking up quite a lot because I think there's just a lot happening on screen. Again, while it looks pretty awful at the moment, if you're running it outside of Unity without anything else, without any applications running, then it runs fine. And of course, this computer got like it's quite old. It's like, how old is it? It's about 10 years old. Not quite 10 years old. But nearly 10 years old, and it wasn't full spec when I bought it. So it's like 8 gigabytes of RAM and I think a 4 gigabyte graphics card, which I'm gonna fix soon. But I think actually, as a developer, it's not a terrible idea to not like to settle for like a lesser computer, because it means you're going to really notice these. Like if I was running this on like a professional work computer. Let's close this. If I was running this on a professional work computer, I wouldn't even notice that there's a problem, because actually this game runs fine on like a modern, up-to-date piece of kit. But yeah, this is really tanking. Okay, space magic, permanent marker. I think we do want permanent marker. And yeah, I think it's just because we're constantly spawning in hordes of orcs. That is just causing trouble. Because they all come in with an animation, they all start like colliding into each other, and it's just a big hit. Yeah, start. That is. Also, I think meteors is like a big one, because it's just tons of like bits of AoE. But yeah, this is really piss poor performance. I have 0 survivability on my character. Well, no, I have the armor. The armor's pretty good. But yeah, you can see the orcs are starting to push back now. But yeah, performance is... I'm not happy with this. Oof. You know what? I'm going to turn off meteors and see if that makes a difference, because it might just be meteors that's, because it's never usually this bad. So I will turn off meteors. So I need to take my guy, go to my weapon container. That's the one, and I just need to switch it off. There we go. I mean, I'm sure it's doing a lot of good. Also, maybe the explosions, maybe it's struggling with that. Just all these AoE effects popping up at the same time is going to cause issues, undoubtedly. That seems to have made a decent bit of difference. It's almost over. See, now they're coming this way. Okay. And we have run out of dudes. I mean, part of what's going to be helping the performance notes. Oh, what is that? Okay, that's a bug. It's a null reference exception. And it's not one I've seen before, so it's probably something to do with the performance. Block effect. One thing I should do is, since this is a bit of an issue, so when we start, so block effect, so instantiate, it's basically like when we start the game, initialize pools for enemy prefabs, but we also initialize pools for, so yeah, initialize object pools. And we want to go to some of our effects. So for example, damage splashes is max units. So we could make this fewer, right? We don't need that many damage effects. We only need 10 possible at one time, right? So in this case, it would be 5. Like, we just don't need that many. We don't need that many. So maybe that's what's tanking things a bit. Items, yeah, that would be max units times 10. Items, items, items. Yeah, that's fine. We're just making a specific amount of each. Number burst, yeah, we don't need that many number bursts. Although that's probably not what's tanking us. Other initialized pools. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Now it's just time to run away. And I think, yeah, it's just, we're just getting to the point where we need to tidy up the code a bit. This is horrible. Let me do a profiler check. I promise it's never usually this bad. Like it tends to freak out a bit at this point. But there's not even that much happening. Right? Like there's not that many allies or enemies on the screen. What was that? That was script. Okay, what was that? That was script and animation. So that was a horde being spawned, I think. And so we really just need to go through the code and tidy up. No, the garbage collector isn't too bad. That blue is basically, that means it's definitely my bad code. So this blue over here. The dark blue is like, but like the physics isn't that bad, it's just the code at this point. But I think that is because of like enemies spawning and... Oh, there's the foot! Oh no! Okay, that was good. Okay, well that was a good run. I need to stop the foot coming in when it's paused. Stop it, stop it, stop it. Well, we've already calculated, so it's not like he can just keep stomping away. And I can say, where is it? Enemy spawner. Giant stomp. If giant stomp interval is less than 0.5, that's good enough. And actually, I think it's fine just to let him keep stomping away with the background there. It doesn't affect our points at this point. It's just a bit of fun. Okay, that was a good run. That was a good run. Again, like I'm really disappointed in the performance, and I'm gonna have to go through and do quite a lot to fix that. But things are working. And yeah, I think it is, a lot of it is just when these hordes spawn in, but I can also do more to sort of make the code a bit smoother. So for example, spawn pack. I could like, okay, well, I think this is fine. I think whatever I did before has fixed that now. Something like that. Yield return null just kind of waits for it to finish the frame. Pack.enemies.count is equal. Oh, we don't need that. Okay, so we'll do instead of a return there, we'll just do if available slots greater than 0. Like that. Pack is not equal to pack. I don't know. Okay. All right, I believe that will work. What was that? Pack is not equal to pack. Okay, that's saying... Okay, yeah, no, that works. That works. Okay, so if pack is not equal to pack, then we kind of ignore available slots. Something like that, or like 100. Because the point is that we still want doggies to spawn, even if there's a lot of enemies. Because they're sort of it's a gameplay thing. Alright. So what do we have? Okay, we didn't see any enemies appear outside of bounds, except for the reason that we understood. So we can fix that. Let's just fix that quickly. And I guess the easier thing would be to say that if an enemy does end up out of bounds, that it would sort of be inside the collider, and it could then just walk back onto the map, rather than me adding even more expensive code saying, oh, every time an enemy is knocked back, we have to check where it is and if it's within the bounds of the level. No, I think it's going to be better to so if we had like nice thick walls, I think that might do it. Okay, so we will go to the level, main game, and we go to our walls. This should actually be switched off. This goes all the way over here at 2200. this one goes to the middle. So that the center is about there. 800, I think it was. And then the width is like about 2.8K. And that should do that. So that's move walls, test and fix meteors. So it is working. So what happens if make rain? Okay, yeah, so I think it was just sometimes spawning off, but like that should work now. So, but I do want to test and fix meteors. So I'm going to check Unity clear garbage. System dot so I'm just reading this. Yeah, why would we do unload unused assets? Okay, well let's just do both of those. So when we level up, let's just do a quick system.gc.collect and resources.unload unused assets. And just comment that out as tidy up, clear garbage. Okay. I think that's probably a good practice. We'll see how it goes, see if it messes things up. Okay, and we have made the orcs spawn on a coroutine, which will just mean that they will never spawn all at once, which I think is good. And that might just help the system catch up. Let's see. Okay, so we still managed to find scenarios where somehow despite everything, so we go gm.pause equals true, let's just throw them in everywhere. Yeah, update all options in the loop. We'll do it before that and we'll do it after that. Oh yeah, we're doing it after that. Paused equals true. Yeah, so we're just constantly saying if we're doing anything here, paused equals true. Okay, why did I comment this out? Why would I comment this out? I bet I did that as a temporary measure. I bet I did that as a temporary measure. Except I don't want to do it every frame, obviously. Or I don't want to check the animation every frame. But it does close itself. It's not, so it's only going to do it when it's updating. So variable chest open. So chest UI. Yeah, it's called chest animator. Okay, we don't actually have... Oh, we have a state. State is equal to... Come on. State equals 0, state equals 1, state equals 2. State is not equal to. And I believe that this is like closes itself. Let me double check that. So I just need to start a game and check that that's closed. Ah, fun times, fun times. Because I don't want that to run every frame. I don't mind it running every frame while the chest is open. But I don't want it to run every... Oh, hello. Okay. So yeah, the player isn't set yet. And actually we've got GM referenced here. I mean, we shouldn't do, but it's no harm in it. It's not worth me like changing last minute. Okay, let's try that again. Oh, we've actually had some people in here. Wow. Yeah, please do like the video if you're enjoying it, if you want to see more of this, or if you want to just help me out and help my game reach more people. Yeah, please do wishlist the game. Not many of you in here, but more than I usually expect. Most people watch it after the fact. By most, I still mean very few. And the people who are watching the stream are still... appears that they're still watching the gameplay bits. Okay, what's going on here? Okay, so this is running every frame. So yeah, I don't really want to do that. Yeah, we don't want this on. We do just want to like constantly like, because what happens is yeah, we wait until we've submitted and then we pause it. Yeah. We could just say like if it's open, well, I'm going to leave that for now because I've added a few more pauses in there and I just really want it to stay paused while that menu is open. Okay, test and fix meteors. Okay, so we've done a few things that might affect performance. Having the enemies not all spawn at once is helping with that. Obviously, it runs a lot better outside of Unity and when I'm not like streaming. There are bits that I can clean up with the code. The main ones being like, because character is so common, like what is happening in the update here. If is dead, if is player, that's quite rare, but count second. What's sec timer being used for? Okay, sec timer updates our buffs, which is needed. Okay, we could probably... So we're doing the animation if they're moving. Okay, so let's just store that bool. So fixed update, player movement, non-player movement. I mean, there's not a lot we can do about this. If is player can move nearest target. So if we have a target, I mean, there's not a lot we can do about that. It's like, do we have a target? I've already kind of optimized this a bit. I mean, again, if anyone's watching this, please do let me know if I could do more to optimize this. Where is Coding Jesus? That's what I need. I need him to come and save me. I mean, I have made some changes. What I'm going to do is test and fix meteors. So I will go into my character, cheat, and we will apply upgrade meteors. And we'll try that out and just see if it's working how we expect it to work. I mean, it shouldn't have been affected by the rain effect. I don't know if I think it is causing a rain effect. It's causing an AoE. I mean, it might just be like this is why this game doesn't exist, is because it's very hard to optimize it. It just doesn't. It's having this many characters doing stuff, having allies as well as enemies all on the screen together, just causes issues. Okay, that's as expected. Oh, you know what might have been doing it as well? These fire particles. So I think what I might need to do, yeah. So let's look at a bit of, let's open the profiler, because we are already getting little spikes. Okay, that's green. That's rendering. Okay. Oh, what was that? Okay, that was garbage. So I am clearing the garbage when we level up. That's to be expected, that we'll see a bit of a freeze when we level up. That's fine. Okay, physics and... What was that? What are these physics bumps? Physics bump again. Another physics bump. So what is causing that? Can I see? So can I go into physics? Active dynamic bodies, active kinematic bodies. Overlaps, trigger overlaps. Physics queries. So at the spikes, oh, we've lost the spike. Okay, let's get another spike to happen. There we go, there's one. You see that? So we want to go there and say what changed there? Nothing really. In terms of physics, I don't see. Is it this guy? So that would be trigger overlaps. Physics queries. So what is a physics query? This is like asking, is something overlapping, right? Did I still have... Well, yeah, that was the garbage collector, so I might want to turn that off, actually. Like, so when we level up, I'm telling the garbage collector to do something. I think it might have struggled there as well with... It might have struggled there with having too many things on fire, and the flame effect might be a bit too strong. So what I could do is just turn that down significantly, or do some kind of like limitation to it. So let's see. We'll take a character, any character. And have a look at what happens when someone's on fire, because I feel like that because it doesn't usually tank as much as it did. That was a really bad performance for that last run. So let's take status effects, fire, and so fire has this particle system, and I wonder if we can, like, can we like cull them or limit the culling mode? Okay, that's interesting straight away. First of all, I don't want to make any changes to this. I want to go into that prefab. Okay. So the fire render, that's easy. So this would be whatever the character is. And the particle system just pops off a few particles. Gravity source. Can we say no gravity? It's velocity mode. So I think like this isn't making a difference, and it just feels like rigid body is probably like we don't need that, right? Like that can't be expensive, that can't be cheap. Automatic, I don't know what culling mode, I don't know what automatic culling mode would be. Or Always simulate if not looping. Let's just go pause. Just don't if like culling, just like switch it off. I mean, ring buffer mode. Okay, emission, shape mode. Change the atlas mode. What atlas mode? Sprites must use rectangles. Atlas mode. Mode. I don't know. So we have our particle system. Sprites must use rectangles. Change the atlas mesh type. I don't know what it means. This billboard is probably cheap material. Okay. And yeah, I don't know what else to do really to improve things. It might be that I've done enough by now, although no, clearly not, because I don't think the game is doing great even when things are running. I will turn this off. Okay. Yeah, let's check this out. So we want to play the game a bit and just see what's causing issues. I mean, I wonder if I can like get some like programmer on Fiverr or something to come and just kind of go through my code with me and find areas for improvement. Okay. So watch this line with me. So far so good. We're at 250 FPS. That's what that grey line is. Little physics spike. But these are tiny physics spikes. Garbage collector. Rendering. Tiny physics spike. Oh, what was that? What was that? Why did we suddenly get this big physics spike? I feel like that's like what is going on there. What is going on there? Render loop, job loading. Like, what was the issue there? Why do we get these big spikes? Like just a random, like, yeah, randomly. Is it to do with my item collector? Let's turn that off for a while and see. Oh, hello. What buff is null? If buff.name is equal to null, then like, what buff is null? Okay, I'm just going to say return if that's the case. What buff should... Oh, yeah, no, that should be the banner. That's really annoying. Okay. That shouldn't be happening at all. So let's also get the bannerman. Bannerman. I mean, just good to get all this stuff before getting really stuck in with adding content. Okay, what was that? Just random, like, massive spikes in physics. So could this be to do with... Oh, I have an idea. It's because it might be like looking through all of these like disabled objects with my item collector. Okay, now there's a little spike, but just a tiny one. I just want to see if I can like... Okay, yeah, that was a fairly big physics spike. Took us down to 60 FPS. Okay, I think the item collector is causing most of those physics spikes. Yeah, I think it is. Okay. So, how do we fix that? Okay, well at least we've gotten somewhere. So what is it about this item collector? I mean, we don't need to worry about if it's paused. Could we say, okay, maybe we shouldn't check, we shouldn't do like an item.get, like check the component, because what might be happening is it's like checking the components of a whole bunch of like things that are switched off for some reason. I don't know. Let's see. So we want to go to items, item prefabs. Okay, so let's try this. If other so we just want to say other.get component item is attracted. Like that. And we want to say if other.tag is equal to item. And should we say string item equals like that? Let's see how that goes. We've got 4 people viewing. That's more than usual. Yeah, please like if you're enjoying the video. If it helps at all, if it helps you learn, or if it helps you stay motivated. I guess watching this proves that even someone like me who's not very good at coding, even someone like me who's not very good at coding can make games. So even silly people can make games. It's just you need to love what you're doing. I was completely self-taught, so yeah, it's a bit embarrassing because it's like I'm obviously not great at this, but I think my skill is just to keep banging my head against this wall and get it to work. Okay, that wasn't a good start. Okay, let's see if we get any more of these big... Wow, yeah, just getting these big random physics spikes. Big random physics spikes. And hopefully that was just kind of like the game getting started. Yeah, no, more random physics spikes. Yeah, another one. So I'll put it here so you can see them. Just these randomly pop up. I don't know what's causing these. Also big hits to rendering. I don't know what's causing that. Yeah, I just really don't know what's causing that. So what if we turn the item collector off? Do they still happen? Because I don't see why such a simple object like that would cause these big spikes in physics problems. Yep, doesn't seem to be happening. But then I turn it on again. And straight away, big random spikes to physics. Like, how was it easier? How was it less of a problem when every single item had that checker on? So it used to be that every single item in the game Every single item on the floor would be doing an on-trigger enter and then checking if that thing that entered it is a character, and then checking if that character is a character who can do looting. Seems to have stopped now. Is it just the game's getting started thing? It might just be that. There's another one. They don't seem to be too frequent. Yeah, I mean, I refuse to believe that's the problem. That's the issue. There it is again. I refuse to believe that. Okay. Now let's see once more if we can turn it off. Turn off the item collector and then see if it happens again. Oh, it did. It did happen again. Okay. So I don't know what's causing that. We just get these sudden random spikes of physics. I guess because things are getting like smushed together, or the collision is not happy. We'll see. Need to figure that out. Need to. Again, I think at some point I need some help optimizing. Where is Coding Jesus? Come and help me. I need them to help me make my game better. Okay. Right. For now, I'm gonna hold off on this optimization investigation until we are able to, until my next run through. Basically, I need to do a full run through outside of Unity and just see if the game starts freaking out again. It might just be that I need to, like, so for example, maybe it's because too many enemies are on fire and too many enemies with those particle effects. You'd think does that count as animation? I wonder. I don't know. But because the particles have a little bit of animation, and could I find a way to say, okay, then only do that if things are going well? Like I for example, I could go in and just switch this off and see if it's missed, and see if, like, when shit starts popping off at the end, like, is that the choke point? Because if that's the choke point, that's kind of an easy solution. I just say, well, particles, that's something for people with big boy computers. I don't have a big boy computer. Okay, the other thing I need to test is, so this is an age-old bug. Hello. Okay, yeah, so that would be Bannerman, not Bannermen. This is why you don't use strings in code, it's prone to error. Oof. Been going since 8 in the morning. Usually that's quite a long time to be doing this kind of work. It's nice to have the small audience. It kind of keeps me honest. But yeah, what I need to do is upload. I need to do bloody marketing. I hate doing marketing. I wish I could just make the game. But yeah, I need to like make a couple YouTube shorts or something. I need to switch to like having one day a week where I just do all of that. Okay, yeah, apparently that's working. So, like, I don't know why sometimes it would give me a null. Okay, one thing I'm gonna do is because I changed this before, and I think this might be what's affecting it. What's making these like random spikes is... So I recently grabbed all of these. I know I should be using a prefab variants. I didn't know prefab variants existed or how they worked when I started this project. So don't judge me too harshly. So we have... Where was it? Automatic tensor. Let's just turn that back on. And automatic center of mass. Because we weren't getting these physics spikes before I changed these things. So maybe this is the problem. I just figured this would be like less difficult. The other thing I'm confused about is why is some of them... We should have frozen... They should all be frozen... No. None of them should be frozen on X, Y. Oh yeah, no, some of them should because it's the towers. Okay, that makes sense. Oof, it's so difficult to change each of these. There we go. And again, I'll just let that finish. Oof. Prefab variants, people. Prefab variants. Rather than selecting all of them and doing your changes there, use prefab variants. There we go. Okay. So I should be taking like the master object and just changing, messing with the rigid body on that instead. Let's see if we still get these physics bumps. Like, I really don't understand why we would. What's that other option? Profile a standalone process. Physics debugger. Physics debugger? No, I don't think I need that. Okay, so we can watch the line together. Okay, yeah, random physics spike along with a random rendering spike. Garbage collector, not much we can do about that, other than find better times to do it, or make less garbage. I mean, oh, there's one. But that sort of came after a garbage collection. So it's probably like the physics objects kind of catching up. Oh, there. Oh, like why? Okay, I'm going to do one thing as well. So we have knockback. For God's sake, I hate this selection thing. Knockback. Okay. I feel like knockback is quite expensive. So when do we do knock? So start. Really? Where's knockback then? No, I'm not going to be able to find it like that. Just knockback. Okay. And this is where we give each item its knockback. And so we've got things like Fireball, which has a knockback effect. The thing is, the knockback is like supposedly... Oh no, it's 0. Okay, interesting. Because yeah, I feel like maybe knockback is like more expensive than it needs to be. Let's keep observing for a bit. Do we change something? Okay. Random garbage spike, that's fine. I did say I was gonna lay off performance checking for a bit. But yeah, it seems to be like those little changes I made them less frequent. And those random physics spikes are like when there's just too many things. But yeah, we are at like above 100 frames per second. And it's mostly rendering. What if we have meteors? Physics spike. Like often I think it's kind of like a cascade effect, like things slow down and then the game kind of suffers and then the physics kind of have to catch up. Okay. One of the first things I did in this game was make it so that characters didn't blob by giving them an edge. But what if I just said... Interpolate. No, what if I just said... that they didn't. Right? What if I just said that that wasn't a thing? So, for example, like, what if we just turned off rigid bodies? What if we just did that? Would that make the game considerably worse? I don't think so. I think it's fine. The thing is, the performance is only a problem sometimes. Okay, I'm going to move on from this for now. Performance is always on the list of things to do. So test and fix meteors is fine. Test and fix Bannerman is fine. Besides this ongoing performance thing, which just really is never going to end. I need to... Yeah, I need to... just kind of get on with what's happening with the next thing. So the next thing is to make orcs a playable faction. Right? Which means I need to make humans an enemy faction. And I haven't really... Well, I've kind of set up to do this. But let's just... Okay. So the faction is set there. Random buff. I think I fixed this. Get faction, human beings. So... Yeah, so you see we've got these factions. And so if we said, there is a green bean hero called Orko. This is a character from Blacksmith, my first game. And Orko has something like this. Yeah, starts with, let's just make it really clear. So, starts with axe and goblins. Special, I don't know, rage. We don't know yet. Spinny attack. So, whirlwind. Like, probably it will reduce the weapon cooldowns to, like, next to nothing, so he just goes around nuts for a while. Sprite would be Orko Sprite, which doesn't exist yet, so we'll just leave that blank. Faction is green beans, and he is available. Unlocked equals true. And I think for something to be... Yeah, let's just explicitly say unlocked equals true. And yeah, I think I'm going to wrap it up there. So the next thing I'm going to do is make orcs a playable faction so that you can play as them. They've got different weapons. We're going to make humans the enemy faction. And of course, we're going to be doing this ongoing thing of improving performance as we go. And yeah, so I'm going to spend the rest of the day sort of wrapping up what I did here and making a couple YouTube shorts. So thank you very much for joining. And please like and subscribe and all of that stuff. And please check out Warbeans. You can play the demo for free on Steam. And please wishlist it, or if it is your wish to have it. So thank you very much. Cheers. Bye.